Welcome, everybody. It's episode 3 of the Part-Time Warlords. We are still talking Ninth Age and probably will be forever. And today, Hugo and I are joined by Alex, still the best demon player in Australia.
Hello.
But fortunately, we are joined by the Demon Slayer, Nick himself. Nick, say hi.
Hello. Did you say unfortunately or fortunately?
I don't even remember. But unfortunately for Alex, you're the Demon Slayer. So Hugo, say hi.
Hello.
Hugo's getting a lot better with the technology side of things, but it takes like half an hour of making sure he's ready on time.
Grandpa Hugo.
But we have him to thank for it with his NBN and mine not NBN. All right, so today, part 2 of the Demon Legions book. So if you did not see our episode 2, we were talking core and characters, had a great chat about all the cool character choices and a lot of the changes that were made. So Hugo, you're going to start us off and we're going to jump into special. It's a massive category. Lots of interesting choices. We're actually going to show you some lists today as well. So Alex and Hugo have bravely volunteered some lists and we're going to break those down at the end and wrap up our Demon Legion discussion and maybe have a think about where we're going to go in the future with demons. And yeah, so you guys ready to get started?
So
Always
first
ready.
things to note,
Yep.
We're doing it today, 1st of April, so we get the Goblin edition.
The Goblin edition, explain yourself.
Oh, you haven't been on the Ninth Age page, Chris?
I have been on the Ninth Age page, but explain it anyway.
So,
I haven't.
A lot of the PDFs have changed slightly. There's a lot of green on them now.
I thought that was just the website. Is that the PDFs as well?
Ah, the PDFs as well. If you download the Demon Legion book today, you'll be noticing it says Goblin Legions.
Dear God. Okay. I'm gonna have a look at that later on. Oh, that green. Okay.
What a
Gob-
Oh, and you get a fancy
Listen,
tag.
The Gob
And you get a
Age.
fancy tag. What's your fancy tag? I'm a witch doctor. What are you?
Oh goodness. I have no idea.
Nick, what are you?
I am a Nasher Dasher.
So this is an April Fool's takeover by the Orcs and Goblins team, I'm guessing.
I believe so.
Okay, good on him.
It seems like Ben Wadsworth has taken over design of the Ninth Age.
Oh, it's a bit of fun. How do I find my tag? I don't know.
So, will we now have, instead of edible mushrooms, smoked mushrooms?
Oh boy. Anything's better than your bloody almonds. Alright. Hugo, let's get back to it. Demon Legions, let's do it.
Here we go.
So,
Alex, tell
number
us,
one,
Alex, tell us about
his
Eidolons.
favourite. It's his favourite choice.
Look, these Eidolons are just they're made out of garbage. Someone has put their hands into the bin and pulled their juicy remains out and assembled them into this unit.
It's fitting because they have the aura of despair.
Yes. And boy do they ever. I used these in 2 games. Yesterday? Played 2 games yesterday with these. I think in 2 games, none of them ever died, by the way, and they shot every turn they could. I think I killed 1 spearman and did 1 wound to a colossus.
You didn't kill a spearman. You spent 3 turns shooting at Dark Riders, didn't kill a single one, and then I left them alone because I felt...
Yeah, there you go. So,
I'm sorry, Alex, but do you not use them to shoot knights?
what knights?
Aren't they the
It
craze?
wouldn't have mattered what they shot. If they couldn't kill Dark Riders, they're not killing a knight.
So just to bring this back a bit, Hugo famously quoted, "If there's a model restriction, they're a good unit. 0 to 18 models." Is there any now? What's the main issue with them, Alex? You're finding is it the to hit or
Yeah, it's the hit rolls because they are so fragile. You have to move every turn. They have to be in a good position, and their range is short. They've only got 18-inch range, so you have to move. So you hit on 5s, and it's just like not good at all.
I think a unit that fragile that has to be that close means it has to come within range of small arms fire, and that is what will take those down. They only have a 6 up aegis against like crossbow or bow. Like they're just going to get shot off or charged.
So
Yeah.
we've got accurate, 2 shots with accurate, but not quick to fire. So I guess kind of same.
They're
And
also
you-
only strength 2. So if you charge them with anything, they're not going to kill it.
In combat, yeah. So the shots are strength 4, AP 0, and have this funny rule where you can kind of 50-50 your armor save. So it works against good stuff or high armor stuff, but doesn't really work against anything else.
Yeah, the
Do they need
issue-
more shots?
The issue is
No, they
hitting
need
and
to-
wounding.
Yeah, the hitting. It's the hitting part.
Strength 4 is not going to wound either. Like, why?
And-
Well,
and-
no,
5.
but strength 4 is better than not hitting.
So we'll revisit these when we come to your lists and your
Oh,
experiments.
we sure will.
You've got Wizard Conclave. Any comments
did
about
take
that?
The Conclave. I mean, their spells are pretty good, but it is a very expensive wizard. Even if you only take 5 of them, that's still like 400 points once you give them one of the upgrades. It's like a lot of points for a wizard.
Mhm.
And none of those spells are spells you can't otherwise get anyway.
Nick,
So
Nick,
yep.
how do they compare to Dark Acolytes?
Well, as you probably know, I'm not a huge fan of Dark Acolytes, but they are not as good as Dark Acolytes. The resilience and just the close combat output and the speed of Acolytes makes them much better than.
I think you've got what 5 wounds each. The acolytes can do what better spells? Would you say, or
Definitely
same?
better spells.
Yeah. Definitely better
Better spells.
spells. 4 up Aegis against absolutely everything, not just magical attacks.
Yep.
These guys are only 5'10", Acolytes are 9'18" or 10'20", and they've got 2 strength 4 poison attacks.
Excellent. So they're probably how are we going to rate these guys compared to everything coming up? Are they right at the bottom?
Are
They are
They are at the
on the
bottom?
shelf behind that bird character. Like, he's in front of them.
That's saying
The
something. If
sentinel,
you,
the sentinel's
yeah.
flying over him, soaring high above.
Do you mean like he's like above the shelf cabinet for the bird? Like
He's in a box above the shelf. He's not
He-
even on the shelf.
He is better than these monstrosities.
Poor Eidolons.
So we'll leave the poor Eidolons. We've thrashed them enough.
At least we move on to probably my
Oh,
favorite ones next.
Hellhounds, quite
the Hellhounds.
five models, 165. They had a complete redesign, where they got 3 attacks, strength 3, but they have lethal strike, and they have hellish growl, which is interesting. So, Alex, what are these guys for? What are they good at? Why should we use them?
I use these pretty much every game. I have these in my list. They have killed at Vic GT. They killed Scotty's Iron Orc Warlord on a boar. They have killed a Sphinx recently. They've killed a Taurosaur. They are just super good. So their growl is you make a discipline test at -1, and if you fail, you get -1 strength, and I get rerolled wound.
Hmm.
So they have 3 attacks each and an offense 5. They are just really, really good.
I'm
Movement
probably
9.
Yeah. I'm probably going to do quite a few like PSAs in this episode. I'm just going to do a little mini one now and shoot the Hellhounds off the board as soon as possible. Those things have so many attacks and just whittle you down.
Yeah.
They're so good for their points cost.
is this like a
Have
PSA
you got,
PSA or a shirt PSA?
Oh no, this is just this is common sense. Like shoot the Hellhounds, get rid of them. Charge them with a chariot, do whatever you have to do.
This is a friendly reminder. It's not a dispel oaken throne.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
these-
Alex, what's the configuration for your Hellhounds?
Well, now, because this is a local thing, I take Incendiary Ica on them, just because pyromancy is everywhere around here.
Mhm.
If we had another option, I would probably take Digestive Vomit or maybe even Hot Blood to make them agility 7 when they charge.
All right,
you
but
haven't,
are you looking at them like as just the min 5, or do you put more models into the unit?
Oh, I take 5 or 6. I don't think you can take. They are very cheap to get more models. I've not tried it yet, but a unit of 10 or 12 is still cheap It's still a cheap unit. But they are just essentially buffer wounds, so you still get your full attacks, because you're only still getting 1 from the second rank.
Yep. Have you ever tried running them as a dart? So trying to do the combo charge, because obviously any other unit in that multi-combat is still going to benefit from the -1 strength.
I have not started the game with them like that, but I have run them like in like a 3x2
Mm-hmm.
at some point in the game. Yes. If you do that, you can also hunt down characters. Go for the lucky lethal strikes.
Or just wizards.
Or wizards, yeah. I think they're a great unit all around. They have several good upgrades. Like, I mean, they're all pretty good.
Would you ever take a champ?
No, probably not. I'd rather just take an extra guy.
I
If I
think
was going to spend that 20 points.
I think you can also
Yeah.
look at it as like if you took the 6th model, it's not a bad idea to buy the champ because you can always stop those dragon characters dead. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not a bad option, but you are pretty limited on points with demons. You don't get a lot of guys. So if I wanted something else, that'd be the first thing I'd drop.
All right. So where are they? Where are they on the shelf, Hellhounds?
Oh, they are. Oof. They rule the roost. I think they're up there.
So
Those
they're a good
things-
little utility tool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they chew through Realm Knights. Oof.
What? They chew through Realm Knights?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
man.
lucky
How?
lethal strike.
You gotta get lucky. You gotta get some lethals.
When you got Alex's dice, you chew through Realm Knights.
Alex
they're-
is nice.
They're also extremely good at going to fight anything that has low discipline.
Yep.
Even like a moderate discipline.
I think one of the units people came up with that I don't know. You can tell me if it's still viable, Alex. But thinking something about 10 to 12 Hellhounds with an Omen.
I mean, omens aren't that great anymore. So
What's the reasoning behind that,
yeah,
Hugo?
I don't know why. I don't know why you
'cause
do that instead
they
of
can
having something else.
it's still standard size unit, and then you're not giving up any of the march value as well as the Hellish Growl gives a -1 discipline, so you need another character in there with fear to get a further -1.
It's a fair call, I guess. It's not something I'd do. You limit their charging by a bunch.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair enough.
kind of gimmicky, but
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting thought, I guess. Yeah,
Mhm.
just because the March 18 is that what you're saying? See,
No,
but
because the omens
Yeah.
have 18 march, but he's only movement 6. So
Yeah.
you're losing a third of your charge, like extra distance.
it's definitely an anti-character unit then if you've got all that in there.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Some of the things
one of my
about
favorite
not
units.
like you're gonna be fighting the character because the Omen's gonna challenge you out anyway. So
Yeah. Well, anti-knights.
anti-knights. All right. So let's move on to what's next.
The threshing engine. So this is the old Seek Chariot? Old Seek Chariot.
The
Bit of
old-
fun. I know,
old chariot
Alex, you've been
rolls
using
along.
them.
Yeah,
Three
I've been
into
using them here and there. The small one, and I've used the big one once. So for
Legion
these, if
Thresher,
anyone
yeah.
doesn't know, you can spend 150. I haven't used the middle one, but you can spend 115 points to upgrade it to have double the impact hits and double the wounds, essentially, and double the crewman.
8 HP. Oof.
Yeah.
8
Which
HP,
makes
it's very
and
nice.
it goes with the big base too.
100
But-
by 150, massive.
Yes, yeah. These I think these chariots are quite good. Movement 10 chariots, they can pick things out from like a far distance, and get in there.
Another armor-piercing choice.
Yeah, all their things are AP3, even though they're only strength 3 and 4. But AP3 is very good.
Are the impact hits AP3 as well?
Yeah,
pretty
strength 4, AP3. Yeah. Is there anything to be said with having just 5 of them? 5 of the little ones?
Not really. Like you could definitely do that if you wanted to.
Hard targets, nice. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a bit survivable against shooting, but they are only resilience 4.
4 wounds.
4 wounds, so
They are
do-
160 points.
Yeah, they are cheap, but they can die.
Dirt cheap.
The upgrades they get, I don't think I'd take any on the small one. On
Okay.
the just 160 point one. I think it adds too many points to them. Except for maybe the fly. If you want them to fly, that's eating into your flying allowance. But flying chariots are always good.
Mm-hmm.
Have you used these, Hugo?
No, because they're a bit too much. Like, okay, if you take, okay, so the first thing is it's only got 2d3 impact hits, so that's maximum you're gonna get 6, and minimum you're gonna get 2. More likely you're gonna get 4 if you just compare it to a regular chariot with the d6 plus 1. Sure, it's about the same, but most of the chariots come with armor and are usually T5, so I can't see it actually winning out as being a better chariot.
Mm-hmm.
The Horde Thresher, look, I don't use it because it's just on a weird base size, 100 by 100. I mean, who has 100 by 100? I don't have 100 by 100, so that's a no. And then finally the big chariot.
So in the one game I've used the Legion one in, it was against Undying Dynasty, and I had it with the Legion Thresher with the Divining Snout.
Mhm.
So
12-inch charge?
yeah, it was psychological warfare that there was a giant chariot with a 12-inch advance move that can re-roll its charges. Like my opponent was terrified of it. Not that he should have been, because it's not that good, but it influenced his movement for the whole game.
The threat range on it is pretty high.
Yeah. Like a 20-inch charge for that is an 8 with a reroll on Swift Stride. Like that is almost guaranteed.
Chris, does Roaming Hands impact hits?
Roaming Hands, I think it does. I just checked that. The model just gets it. Yeah. But that is the most expensive upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I kind of see Alex's point that the more you want to get the bigger one to get an upgrade.
Yeah,
because
otherwise
once
they're all
it's
gonna
already
die, right?
starting out at like 285 points, an extra 20 or 40 points isn't much. But when you're down at 160, it adds a high percentage is that upgrade.
What
does Roaming Hands do?
That's not true at all, but continue.
Roaming Hands is the flanks and rear. You get +1 strength and AP, I think.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. But again, yeah, 40 points on the little one is not really worth it. Maybe on the second one. I'm just thinking from a geometry perspective. You've got this massive base, and trying to fit that base into certain places is tricky, right?
Yeah, it is challenging.
Okay. So Hugo, final thoughts on this unit?
I think the Legion, like if you actually do the double Legion Thresher, that's actually quite strong. Even with the riding stat, like you're looking at what 83 impact hits.
Yeah.
On like move 12, like.
And don't forget it then has 8 strength 3 AP 3 attacks after that too, which is I mean they're only strength 3, but AP 3 is good.
So I think if you put 2 together, like it's actually quite strong. You could do something with 2. One, I think 1 by itself is more of a threat than an actual like follow through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a more psychological.
Yeah, it's like it could do. Like I mean, it could do 12 impact hits.
Is it an anti-chaff type unit?
I think it's an anti-night bus unit.
Anti-night bus unit, yeah.
Like, yeah. Nick, would you like to see this across the table from you with Bretonnians?
Again, like the Legion one,
yeah,
I think is easy to chaff, and it is easy to get a charge on that as opposed to being charged by it. I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Might Duke.
You got a damsel in there. He's got Divining Snout.
Might Duke. Don't worry about it.
But it outrages the Might Duke.
Yes, that's true.
So what? Doesn't it outrange the Might Duke by like 4 inches?
It sure does.
Yep.
And Divining Snout, just to be clear, that's the one that if they have a magic item?
If they have one magic item, you get to re-roll. If they have 2 or more, you get plus 2 inches of. Or is it the other way
That's
around?
cool.
Yep.
No, that's
yep.
what it is. Yeah.
Reroll charge rolls and +2 advance for the charge roll. Wow. Okay. Well, let's muck around with this unit and just see where it sits in a few months, I reckon.
Nick, tell me
It's an
when
interesting
you,
one.
Nick, tell me when you bring Kiwi to the next tournament. I'll bring 2 of these.
All right, no worries. What? So
Perceived versus real threat. Yeah.
yeah, I'm hesitant. I'd just be hesitant to take a resilience 4 chariot personally.
Hmm.
I think I think the best thing about a chariot is its resilience, and they just don't seem up to par.
It worked well for the Tyrannok chariot. The high
And
off
the
one,
Sky
which you'd never
Sloop, the
see.
Sky Sloop is T4.
Yeah, but that's hard target and it's great at shooting.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
comparable. It's almost comparable to this. It's T4, 4 wounds, hard target. It has a 6-up save. This is a 5-up Aegis. It's got move 9. This is move 10. I mean, sure,
Mhm.
you lose out on
Yeah.
the shooting attacks.
And it's a lot more expensive, isn't it? Is it like 250 or something like that?
265.
Yeah, Alex and I were talking about this threshing engine the other day, and it's like with the recent changes, he was going to be playing them a bit more. So I'm eager to be proved wrong, but I don't rate it.
All right.
All right. Sounds good. Let's move on.
So, threshing engine from one chariot to another. Is this the only other chariot?
Yeah.
I think it is. I want to know whether this one's still on the shelf or off the shelf. So, Titan Slayer
This is
chariot.
something I can't tell you. I have not used one yet. This is, I think, the only unit that I haven't used yet is this chariot.
I've seen somebody use it and they didn't do so well. So
So we've got it's a
gotta go with that.
movement 7. So plus it did get a little buff. It did come down in points. It's gotten 1 more movement. It's got another buff, whereas if you are Towering Presence, it gets +2 advance now. So that's again kind of like Divining Snout. Well, who knows? Combo that with Divining Snout. That's
Can take it.
yeah. Movement 9 or movement 11 possibly if you're looking for the hippo.
But I'm not sure Divining Stout gives it anything because which monster has got 2 magic items on it?
It's pretty much just like a dragon or
Character.
Yeah, monstrous.
a griffin. Yeah. It's only characters. Yeah, not a monster.
Like,
Oh, there's plenty of large with Towering Presence.
yeah,
there's
so
plenty
it's
of
like
large
you're kind of like
characters.
designing it to fight characters, but then okay. So the is
Doom wheels.
Okay, so because
Anything with Towering Presence.
What are you looking at? 220 versus what
Oh,
was the
240.
Thresher engine with Divining Stout?
Thresher's 160, and I think the next one up is exactly the same. The Horde Thresher is 220. So you're looking at a Horde Thresher or this?
So you're looking at 3D3.
This is your Resilience 5 chariot.
Yep.
It's the same save aside
And
from
it
that without
does
the hard
have
target.
the best unit in the game as its mount. The Chthonic Machinator. That is a great name.
Very importantly, had a spelling correction. Just pay attention.
Yep. That,
Oh, for goodness.
Isn't that just like what is it? The Harbinger mount, the Great Beast thing, with +1 strength, +1 AP.
It's got strength 6, AP 3, 3 attacks, but only offense 3. It's got the strength 7 impact hit, so it's got some interesting things on paper, but again, neither of us have used it.
Play in an area that has a lot of people taking griffins and hippogriffs and wyverns, characters on them. These chariots would be well worth your time to take with Divining Snout.
Hmm.
But around here, actually, it's on the right. The Chimeras coming out and the Might Dukes. Haven't seen a wyvern ever, but I think there's a place for this chariot. It just depends if you play against those characters or not.
I think this needs to be redesigned. This whole thing.
You don't like it at all?
I'll tell you what I think it should happen to this thing. I'll tell you a bit later.
Can I throw out, is this the replacement for the cannon chariot?
I think this is meant to be a replacement for the throne.
The throne, okay. Because obviously the cannon one's completely gone.
We'll get up to its replacement in a couple of units time.
Okay, because this is what's going to take out the big stuff. You think mathematically, right? It should do its job. D3 plus 1, strength 7 impact is with D3 wounds
Now the problem
against
is
monsters is
that
interesting.
they're only AP2 impact hits as well.
So it's very much anti-monster. There's not too many monsters with great armor saves.
That's true.
I think that's done. Obviously, that's done on purpose to
But
give them
yeah,
a shot.
no, but the characters on
Ah,
Griffins,
true.
Hippogriffs, and
It's
Wyverns
more
generally
monsters.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon's going to get a 5-up. So the dragon's got a fighting chance,
Yeah.
even if it gets hit.
But what happens is, look, okay, it's D3 plus 1, more likely chances averages out to, you get 3 impact hits. It's strength 7, it means 3's the wound, means you're going to drop 1, so you do 2 wounds. Whether or not the dragon makes the save, it's still going to be alive, 2d3 wounds.
Yeah, it's going to do 3 wounds. It's going to do 3 wounds.
Maybe 4 wounds, but like the dragon's still going to be alive, and then it's just going to wreck you.
Alright, so you're saying there's a cannon, this is as close as it gets to a cannon, right? It's just a chariot cannon.
I mean, it's not like it's multi-wounds D3 plus 1 clipped wings or something like that. It's just...
But also get 4 on you.
I just think this needs to be thrown into the Herb Harvester. That's what I think.
Okay. Alright, so we'll get to Hope Harvester in a moment. So,
Alex,
funny
where's
little
this-
one.
No, before.
Yeah,
Alex,
ask him first,
where's
yep.
this on the shelf? Where's this on the shelf?
It's down. I think it's on the second last shelf, second from the bottom.
So are we
But
behind the bird or in front of the bird?
I think this is about. Oh, that bird.
It's got to be in front of the bird. It's got to be in front of the bird.
I think it's just in front of the bird. Just in front.
Like next to, maybe side by side?
It is the only thing behind it you can see in the far distance is the Eidolon.
You can't even see
Sitting
the
there
idol on the
twiddling their
shelf.
thumbs.
It's in a box, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
We'll see if
wildly-
Hugo's... we'll see if Hugo's thinking comes true and it does get a redesign. Yeah, it's interesting because you did have that throne, you did have the old skull cannon to deal with certain things, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I like how they have. I like how the crew have fight in extra rank.
That is
There you
just a copy paste error.
I know.
Yeah, so not really too much to talk about with the Momentons besides fighting extra rank. it's next level. Mage Bite Gremlins. These creepy little dudes.
Oh, they're great.
Anyone want to talk about these guys?
Or in this edition of the book, Mage Blight Goblins.
Oh, you've got the new one up. I do not. I've got the old one up. They're 170 points, 2 models with 5. Obviously, they're a little swarm type unit. However, they are Skirmisher, Hard Target 1, Veil Stalker, and they're looking out for wizards. Is that right? Or
Yeah.
purely wizards, right?
So these guys ambush, and you can you ambush within 6 inches of an enemy model with channel. So in other words, you come up next to a wizard.
6 inches from a wizard.
Within, not
With
6 inches from. Within.
Wow. It may choose to be placed within 6, so it doesn't have to.
No,
You can do a normal ambush.
Correct.
Okay. If so, it cannot perform any advanced moves this phase. But within 6 inches, you can plonk yourself right in front of him.
Yes.
Interestingly, it's just of an enemy model with channel. It's not necessarily a wizard.
Yes, there are
Yes.
a number of models that have channel that aren't wizards.
Oh no, my anvil.
Yep.
I am things are springing to mind as we talk about this rule, like the Undying Dynasties bunk,
Yeah.
the Infernal Dwarf wizard on the Lamassu.
Yep.
Oof.
Oof,
That was a
that's
good
like
day.
that's like an instant 6 combat res right there.
I charged one of those in the rear against poor old Dave, 9 combat res. So that's the second rule we haven't talked about. These
Yep.
guys get +1 combat res for each spell that you know that they're in combat with. If they charge your Wizard Master, +4 combat res.
It's very interesting. So they're not really going to kill you.
Well, they do have 5 poison attacks each. So
They
if
have
you
5
have just a
poison
wizard,
attacks each. So if you can get them on the if there is a wizard, yeah, you could kill a wizard, I guess, if he's not armored up. But how have you found that combat res buff working?
it's great. If you, I've used these guys. I have killed many pieces of artillery with them when I couldn't get near a wizard, just
Mhm.
by ambushing them on and then killing the artillery.
How many models do you
Like,
take?
I just take 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've killed like archers and crossbowmen and stuff coming on behind them, then
Mhm.
charging them. And I don't think I think I maybe have actually killed one wizard, but I've definitely tied up several so that they can't use their magic. And making them normally you get a charge in the flank or rear, so you're winning combat.
I
And
think I think something like at Melbourne, you were fighting Henry. Was it? Was it
I
Henry?
did not play Henry.
You did not play Henry? Oh, maybe that was Sam. Who did you? Did you play one of the
Played
guys?
Ian.
Not Ian. Something about like Mage Bite Gremlins getting into like. That must have been Sam. Anyways, move on.
So you've got the manifestations. You do have venom sacs there.
Yeah,
Is that the
that's
5
what I'm
up?
taking. Yeah,
That's the one.
gives them the 5+ poison, makes them 196 points.
Anything to unnatural roots, living shield, piercing strike,
Yeah,
venom
piercing
sacs.
spike, normally a good one, not when you're strength 2.
I guess it gives you the AP one on the poison, but why not just have better poison?
Yeah,
Especially when you're only 2 models. What is that? 26 points. Yeah.
but these are a great unit, specialized, but they do their specialized job very well.
Yeah.
I love the special rules. They're very cool.
Very unique.
Yeah.
I
A
think
lot of thought went into that one.
I think for 170 points, they're actually probably one of the cheapest ambushes. Maybe like discounting Beastmen, but
Yeah, possibly.
Fearless.
Not that
so
many other
that's-
ambushes
Mm.
besides Beastman.
How much is a
Beast-
kin eater?
175.
Yeah, Fearless, yeah, right.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Kin Eater's only got 4 wounds, whereas this comes base with 10 wounds. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I think it's just a
pretty
good unit just to,
sneaky
like-
good. Sneaky
yeah,
good.
Just to clear out the gun line is pretty good.
Right. It's definitely specialized though. Definitely specialized.
Yeah, if you are playing against someone that doesn't have artillery and has good wizards, for example, let's say warriors, this unit's not going to do anything for you besides be chaff. I probably wouldn't even ambush them. I'd just use them as a unit of slow chaff.
Mm.
But anyone who has like ranged archers, crossbowmen, whatever, artillery or weaker wizards, these are gold.
Awesome little unit.
Even just the threat of them as well. Like if you pop them off next to a wizard, you make that unit turn around or you make them move out of the way. It's it's not many points for making someone reposition a bunker or diverting something to take care of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you could take 2 into this and just put them front and behind, and then they're stuck.
Yeah, exactly.
They're stuck as long as what they're fighting can't kill them.
Well, if you've got a mage bunker and I put them like 1 inch in front of you and 1 inch behind you, you're not going anywhere.
I kind of like the idea of, because you've got model can perform up to 3 supporting attacks, so I kind of like the idea of just having max size. They're not going to take up that much space.
Max size means you can put in like about 8 poison attacks into a wizard, which I don't know, it's pretty dicey.
8 poison attacks to a wizard with the venom sacs, so
That's a guaranteed kill with my dice.
that's 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
we all can't roll like you.
Wow, what a cool little unit. Obviously, that one, all unique rules, all brand new in this book, right?
Yeah, they are
Yes.
well different than.
They're closely aligned with what, greed or
No, not
something?
greed, gluttony, I'd say.
Gluttony. Okay, fantastic. Great little unit.
So,
All right.
Are these just behind the Hellhounds?
Yeah, they are for sure.
Good. I like how we're starting with a list. This is good.
We've got a ranking
We got a
system.
ranking system.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
shelf.
It's
How high they are on the shelf.
So the shelf. Interesting. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about these ones because they have been popular in the past as the Clawed Fiends. So they are large beasts. They have movement 9, so very fast. They've got 3 strength 4 AP 2 attacks, and they've got toughness 4 3 wounds. So standard sort of large infantry type unit. But it does get against just large, +1 hit and +1 a wound.
Yeah.
They do score. They do score. That's
They love versing
fairly
ogres.
rare. That again?
They love versing ogres.
Oh yeah, if you're
Yeah.
an ogre, these guys like you're done.
And you
Doesn't
take
everyone love it?
you take the broodmother upgrade so that they can regen.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes up for a
okay.
bit of it.
Unhinging Jaw, probably even better.
Which one's that?
Unhinging Jaw lets you re-roll to wound against large and gigantic monsters.
Oh wow, okay.
So that makes them even
and
better at
and
that
with
job.
the upgrade to Piercing Spike, that is also very good now, making them Strength 5 AP 3 against
Pretty much.
units with 4+ saves or better.
Pretty much always, because if you've only got AP2, well, they have AP2, or if you've only got a 5 up armor save, they've already got AP2, so you're not getting a save anyway.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Very nice. So we've got 275 points to start off with. You can get up to 96 points a model.
They're about 670, I think, for an upgraded unit.
Yeah, so you're paying for each model. It's basically the same.
Yeah, I think
So about 670 or so. Around there is about how much all of these units cost.
Yeah. So what do we think they're? Well, I'll mention that again. They score. None of the units we've looked at so far have scored. So that's always nice to have. We spoke about Unhinging Jaw, spoke about Piercing Strike, Broodmother, so lots of good choices there.
they also have Darkhide.
Hugo's
Yes.
hinting.
Darkhide.
Darkhide.
Army.
Yeah, 3 units, all with Darkhide.
Maybe.
Hugo maybe will reveal it, maybe not.
I'm so annoyed. Okay,
But,
so let me just slightly this is like somewhat of a PSA. Can we get a price hike for Can we just up the points of sirens a bit? Because did you know if you take 2 max units of 25 sirens with full command and Darkhide, you are 5 points short of min core.
Succubi.
Points.
Succubi, not
Succubi,
sirens.
you're 5 points short of min core. Like that's an issue. They should fix that. They should increase the cost of Succubi.
I bet that's being done on purpose.
I would love it if it's been done on purpose, just to spite Hugo.
Just a massive middle finger. Yeah.
Shelf ranking, guys.
We haven't got to the better ones yet.
Yeah, I think these are midway because of the next option.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the next option.
Sorry.
Then-
The other options in the same category.
Yeah. I agree that they're in the middle of what I call the 3 options.
Like this is like the
So
B
these
the
are the
B
middle
range,
ones.
right? Well, let's call it the B range. Like so,
Sure.
Is it a B plus, minus, or B?
Just a B. No
it's a
pluses
B.
around here.
Just a B.
Against certain units, it's quite
Like
quite
once
good.
again, if you play against ogres a lot, you play against I don't know, beastmen that use a lot of minotaurs or whatever. These guys
Oh
will just
my
walk
God.
through them. Like they are long dead.
Oh my god, they are.
But if you don't play against any of those, they're still okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fighting minotaurs with them. My
Would be any
Definitely,
minotaurs left to tell the tale.
Oh
Definitely Piercing Strike. I think Piercing Strike's a really good one. Piercing Strike's just
I don't know, but like,
makes them good against a bit of everything.
if you're trying to like double up on the smaller rule, probably Axe is right. Unhinging Jaw, but Broodmother's again not a bad option because against most large things they don't really have a 3-up save, so you're not really gonna get
Yeah.
much Piercing Strike. I mean, maybe large cav models, but I mean you've got a great demon for that.
Yeah.
I
So
think this is about the first unit in the book too, whose all the manifestations they can take are good.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
Mm.
think
They're all good options.
mesmerizing privilege is a bit expensive for them. I think for 7 points. But yeah, otherwise I think it's solid. I think it's really solid.
7 points on 3 or 4 models is, cheap, cheap-ish. Just to chuck that unit in, you say you got a 4-man unit with mesmerizing plumage. I'm always a fan of offense 5. Offense 5 is always good.
Yeah, I think there's definitely I definitely think there's like a manifestation for every scenario.
I agree.
There's
I
not really a
think
bad scenario. There's no bad options. There's only bad scenarios.
Yeah.
They're all good choices. You just depends on your scenario, what you're in, will dictate whether it's a good or bad choice.
I agree with Chris with the extra offense, because most large things we were talking about, like Minotaurs, Vermin Hulks, etc., are mostly defense 3.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you're already hitting on 3s because of offense versus defense, and then +1 to hit, like that is
That's fantastic.
hitting on 2s. Yeah.
Hitting on 2s with a large model is, very rare that that's going to happen. Very cool. So they're a bit of a anti-ogre unit. We'll just put it that way. Poor ogres. And I thought everything was an anti-ogre unit, but no. Hoarders. Hoarders is an interesting one. Hugo, do you want to have a chat about this one?
I think they're garbage.
He
I
personally
think
does. They are a large beast as well.
They are. I
don't
don't understand this unit. Like, this unit is like something you put on the table and you're like, you're not getting these points, but I'm not really going to take many points off you either, and we're just going to have a good old pillar fight. And by pillar fight, I mean we're not really going to hit each other with a pillar, we're just going to stand here. And just
I don't think they're garbage. They're not Eidolon territory. Not by a lot. But of the three, the big three, these are the worst of them. They're the bottom of the big three.
The B minus. The B minus of the big 3.
But for anyone that doesn't know, these guys are Resilience 5, Defense 5, and each round of combat they gain an extra grind attack. They're also the only... Oh no, flies can take 2 now, but they can take 2 manifestations.
Oh,
But
2
if you do that, they
manifestations.
become
Okay, I missed that.
really expensive. It's like an 800-point unit.
So agility 2, dexterous tentacles is the first one.
That is a new one they just got with this update.
Mm-hmm.
They took away Taskin, which made these guys even tankier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Got kaleidoscopic
basically-
flesh. Mm.
They're basically like the Lemure Dart of special. Because, again, if
Yeah.
you string 3 in a row, you can just go into somebody and look, you know what, after every round of combat, you're probably going to get better. And instead of just holding them up, you might even win a combat. But
These go against my ideology of there's no point in waiting to kill things when you can kill them immediately.
I
Good
agree.
point.
I agree.
Good point. 3 models for just under 300, so they are 20 points more expensive than the Clawed Fiends. They've got a better HP, they've got a better resilience, so yeah, they're tough. But they're Strider. I just saw that. That's a bit wacky.
Thrown through the ruins.
Yeah, okay, so they're Strider. And
I actually
they've
didn't know
got the
that was
weird
Strider
supporting
either.
attacks.
So there you go.
Yeah, it just occurred to me. The defense came down. They were originally defense 6. I guess they just liked the offense being half of the defense.
Just give them
Being
parry.
offense 3.
Just give them parry. Okay?
Yeah,
And we
they
can be
should
done
just
with
do
it.
They're blobs. They're blobs. They can't parry. They're blobs.
It's called
What do you
absorb.
absorb? Yeah. Well, that's resilience 5 and 4 wounds. That's what that is. What about this tightening grasp? Do you think it needs to be maybe just start at 1? Or is that even?
Well,
Is that?
they're only strength 4 AP1, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They can still stomp, right?
Yeah. So
It's not like the Warriors one.
They will kill like any unit of infantry eventually.
Yeah.
But once again, don't do that. Just do it when you charge.
All right. So, yep, they're as you alluded to, they're the bottom of the big 3. But the big 3, the third one, I think, is coming in a fair bit later. So,
Yeah,
Um,
3 or 4 entries, I think.
Yeah, okay, so let's go to Sirens. Sirens a bit of an interesting one. So they are the old, Demonette Cav? I don't remember the name of the
I
Demonette
think they
Cav.
were
Anyone
called
remember?
sirens.
I
They were
think
just
they
called
were.
Sirens.
Sirens or succubus.
So they're
I don't know. They
Sirens or
swap. They probably
succubi.
swap them around.
So they're Vanguard. They're elusive, meaning they flee. They've got hard target 1. Main difference, I guess, I think they've dropped to advanced 9, from 10 to 9. Would that be right?
Yes.
Yes.
They've got an interesting sort of different stat line offensively. They've got offense 5, 2 attacks, strength 4, AP 1. So no poison, no +1 to wound, no ignore parry, nothing like that. They're basically kind of like that unit we mentioned before, Nick.
Dark acolytes.
The Dark Acolytes,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about these?
You just take Hammerhand on these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to take, I think for 195 points, they're a great unit. Just base, great unit.
yeah. No upgrades.
No, yeah. If you want to,
Hammerhand got a bit expensive, I guess.
I think there's also somewhere you could make a good unit of these. So it's a bit bigger with Hammerhand and some upgrades,
Shush,
manifestation
Alex. Shush.
from characters. Take it away, Hugo. Go for it.
Hugo again, trying to bury the lead. Trying to bury the lead.
They're just chaff. They're just really fast chaff. Don't look at that 15 moral count and think, oh, I'll take 15. No. It's just 5. It's just 5. It's really good chaff. Think about it.
Oh goodness. Have we got? So they discipline 9 as well. I guess that's just to do
They
with
also have Strider.
the flee and rally. Yeah, Strider as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that just to let them go through ruins? Like, what else?
Yeah, I suppose they're
They
just
are
trying to.
Oh, they're cavalry. Okay, yep. Cool.
Yeah. I think it also adds to the appeal of like demons are meant to be fast. So them kind of being like the faster ones should not be hindered by terrain.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, but I mean they're faster already by being mounted, but you know.
Yeah. The only unit, the only entry in the book that would take dangerous terrain, but give it Strider because.
You've got to have all of the rules, even the rules that ignore the other rules.
Yep.
They've got the hard target 1, but obviously they'll peel off the board. But again, they're cheap and they're chaff, like Hugo said.
Only chaff.
Only chaff, of
I
course.
feel like Hugo has some form of secret unit that he's building with these guys.
Why? I would never.
For some reason he won't tell anyone about in the Demons podcast.
Never ever take 15 sirens and put 2 harbingers in there. And put them on pale steeds as well, so the whole unit can Vanguard 12 and then March 18.
There's a 200 point. There's a 200 point Empire Pyromancer wizard just looking at that, rubbing his hands.
All of these ideas are great until Hugo tries them out, and they hit the they hit the wall.
That Pyromancer mage can rub his hands all he or she likes, because any spell you get.
The mage lights are behind him.
I'll just do 2 back to you. It's all good because you died a pyro just like I died a pyro, so it's all good.
Hugo, if you can't take the Demon Legions token with the triple omen list, you can take as many bloody sirens as you want. No one.
I'm pretty sure I got the most points with demons actually.
I got the most victory points, and that's all that matters.
I mean, like in one tournament.
You're still not the greatest demon player in Australia.
That's fine with me. I'm happy with that.
And seeing as Wyong is our next singles event in the near future, who knows?
Who knows?
Can you reach Alex at all?
Don't think so.
Don't think so. All right, we'll have to do an episode based on whether you can catch him. We'll lay down a challenge for next year. Yep. So let's go on to the next one. So sirens. Good. They're on the shelf. They're useful. Very useful.
Where are they? Are they in the middle of the back?
I think you should answer this, Hugo.
Yeah, they're great chaff. Move along.
Moving on.
Blazing Glories. Blazing Glories. Yeah, actually, That is a good one. Sirens or Hellhounds, if you can only pick one.
Hellhounds.
Hellhounds.
I would say Hellhounds because you're always taking 2 units of Furies, which we'll get to later.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, no, we had that chat.
Yeah, sorry.
We had that chat. 2 units. Okay, so 2 units of Blazing Glories is what Hugo used in the past, but these guys are basically Max Wharton, the model. They are 7 advanced. They've got this falling star rule where they have offense 10 and then just drop as their health drops. They're an interesting. They're not gigantic. They're not a monster. They're a mini monster, I guess.
They're meant to be like the Demon Prince.
The Demon Prince, the prideful Demon Prince that loses power as he loses confidence, I guess.
Yeah, the Demon Prince that couldn't quite be a wizard and join the Warriors of the Dark Gods book.
Yeah, he's on a 50 base and he's just a large beast. I just find it quite odd. Why not just make him into a monster or
Like
something a
I
little bit
obviously
bigger?
took 2 and thought he was good, but apparently he wasn't good, and he got a price drop.
So it wasn't good.
How did you like our game aside at Melbourne,
yep.
Hugo? But how did
Vic,
the Blazing Glories go? Sorry, yeah, Vic.
Like for me, the Blazing Glories are just really good pieces of like chaff. I use them as chaff, like you would use a chariot. Like they just go forward, they clean up whatever I need to fight. It's stacked really well with distracting hard target as well as +2/+2 because you just get to a ridiculous defensive skill regardless. Like I was fighting Tom and he put up a giant and I'm like, oh, I'll send a Blazing Glory into you.
Mm.
And then I was like, oh, okay, I couldn't kill you in the one go. But, okay, you hit me back with 10 attacks. Oh, wait, you hit me on 6s.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then,
That's nice.
I'll just kill you in the next turn. It doesn't bother me. And then the warriors came into the flank of it. So basically, that one Blazing Glory fought a giant and I think it's 10 warriors or 12 warriors with the paired weapons. And I'm just like, you need 6s to hit me. 6s or 5s. Like the warriors need, I think it was 5s to hit. And
5s, yeah,
yeah,
be
5s.
5s.
5s to win. I'm like, all right, go. Like I'm good. And then like I think they just slow people down.
So you just use them to be a pain in the ass, essentially.
Yeah, like I just use them to die. Like they're just there to
Yeah.
die where I want them to die. Like
And so you can play Brian Adams songs.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. Like I played the last game. I played Dave with them, and like one of the Blazing Glories basically just dealt with a flank, like dealt with the double
Dealt, Hugo,
dealt with both the Doom Wheels and like a unit of what are those people called? What are those rats called? The really fast ones? Oh, the Plague Monks.
The Plague Disciples.
Plague Disciples, and just like it just held that flank. Because
Yeah, it's pretty good. And 280. Well, now it's down to 280. Was that significant? I'm just thinking, was that like 40 points or something?
30 points.
30 points. So
And their
yeah,
upgrades got cheaper too.
Yes. They also got cheaper.
5-point drops, 5-point drops on all the upgrades, and it looks like you get 35-point drop.
Wow.
315 down to 280. So someone wants them to be good.
Did I make a mistake? But then again, I can't take 3 omens anymore, so like, yeah, it's all right. It all evens out eventually.
you did Cloven Hooves, didn't you? Cloven Hooves.
Yeah, Cloven Hooves, because like 10, like back then I think it was 15 points for like D3 impact hits. I'm like, who doesn't want that? I think in the regular manifestations it's about 30 points, so I'm like, it's half price, I'll buy it. And plus, you've only got 5 attacks, so getting a few more attacks is always good.
Yeah, sorry, Nico.
Sorry, does taking fly on these make them too expensive for their purpose?
Taking fly on these takes points out of the others category.
Okay, so I've noticed in this episode and the last episode, every single time fly comes up, you guys say, oh, but it comes out of this precious category, but we're yet to encounter something that you actually want in that
Because
category.
we haven't got to that
We haven't got
category.
to the category yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
I will
Do
say
you not
that
know how
they've
the book works, Nick? Do you not know how the book works?
All right, put the
Nick,
claws away, Hugo.
they have changed their mind quite drastically on the Avers category.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, they have. So we'll get to it. Very good point.
Okay.
No, I was thinking a similar thing. Because you do have 35%. I'm like, okay.
It also does cost a lot of points to make them fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that too. I see that 280 plus 60.
think,
You know, that's a lot for a 280 model.
I'm of the mindset that anything over like 250, 260 is no longer a throw.
Chaff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
To Hugo, everything is chaff.
300 points. 300 points when you draw the line.
Is
Oh,
it?
jeez.
Is that your line? Is it?
It's like the line. It's like yeah.
Okay.
Okay. On the shelf. They're on the shelf. They're on the shelf for now.
For me, yeah, they're on the shelf on the mat.
I have very little to say about these. I've used this in one game and it did literally nothing.
Okay.
It did not get hit. It did not hit anything. Nothing. It was there. It existed.
Again, I think it's just the threat of like the 5 attacks at AP 5 at strength 5. It's just the threat thing. But
Do you think that? What have you got? Like Empire. Empire just don't want to go near this guy.
Empire would just shoot him down.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Oh, that too, yeah.
That res 5 is.
That is one turn of volley gun fire and he's dead.
One turn of bows and is pretty much dead.
Yeah, ranges.
That's some pretty strong bows. Oh yeah, hunters. They're rangers. Sorry. Well, I guess that's a turn you're not shooting at everything else. All right, Hope Harvester. It's time for the very interesting sort of model. Hugo, war platform, your favorite. You talk about him, please.
Yeah. So the Hope Harvester is I think it's called it used to be called the Soul Grinder.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big one.
It's the big one, but
The
like,
little
this
one,
is
the old cannon chariot
This
that's
is
changed a
the
lot.
down version of it, so it's the smaller version. But again, you can pay 120 points to make it the big version. They were quite popular on the forums as well as most tournament lists because most people just saw the shooting like 2d6 times 2 strength for AP1, and as well as the like if you spend Veils you can get an extra like 9 shots if you spend like 3 Veil tokens. And if you think about it, like one magic dice versus 9 shots is probably better. Probably. But I think the issue with them is if you go down that track, you end up spending like a lot of points because if you want to take 2 and that means you want to store 6 Veil tokens, it means you need to suddenly buy like I think it's 25 points for charged tendrils. That means you have to buy 3 characters, and that's 75 points. Is just bank the extra 3 to get to 6. And if you want to bank 6 every turn, you now need to pay some points to get some more channels. Like that, just if you want to maximize on it, it just doesn't work out in terms of costs. The other interesting thing is you can take 2 of the Engine of Destructions if you don't take any monsters, which I think is actually quite strong.
So 2 150 by 100 gigantic dudes.
So it's basically two of the old soul grinders for like 400.
March 15. That's March 15's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I guess you're not shooting that turn, but yeah, March 15.
But a lot of people tend to go with the war platform ability because it just because demons themselves are actually quite expensive. Like if you get a Lemure block and you put him in, he actually brings like 4 strength 6 attacks, which at offense 4 is decent. Like it's not great, but it's decent, and he'll count to about 8 models, which is pretty good. Plus your Lemures aren't really gonna like kill anything with strength 3, so it adds a bit to the unit. But I've just found that their shooting just isn't actually that crash hot, just like Eidolon's. Like it looks good.
Their shooting is trash.
It looks. You're thinking like, oh, 2d6 by 2, and then add more. You have to roll a hit. You're moving most of the time. You're over half. You're hitting on 5s. It's not good.
It's a volley gun as well. Does that mean the 6s is most on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yikes.
That's another thing that we spoke about before, and that I've encountered with the old hunting chariot, is range 18 shooting. Like you're now in charge range if you want to shoot something with that hope up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's 18-inch shooting is just.
What are you doing?
I think
Nick,
I
I
think the
disagree.
big ones are way better.
What'd you say, Alex?
Hang on, Hugo's disagreeing with you. This I gotta hear.
Hugo disagreeing with someone?
Nick,
Go for it, Hugo.
What the hell are you shooting at with the hunting chariot? 18 inches is more than fine. You've got accurate.
It's not shooting anything with a hunting chariot. No
He
one's used
doesn't
a
use the hunting
in
chariot.
23 years.
Yeah, but you're using it to shoot a monster, and if you hit the monster, alright, and you do a wound...
They're not going to charge you.
They're not going to charge you.
Okay.
Best case scenario.
I'm going to highlight the key word in that sentence, Hugh.
What?
If you hit.
You hit
It's a
on
3 plus to hit.
Yeah. Okay. So you're banking on 2/3, are you? You're banking
two
on
of 'em.
2/3, and then letting that monster use that chariot to catapult himself into your.
I'm sorry, can you not flee? Are you incapable of fleeing? You're not.
Like, this is a man. He's a man's man.
Just to give everyone some background, Hugo was part of the revolution to get the hunting chariot, give it some love, get it a bit of redesign.
Just give it feign flight. That's all it needs. Done.
Oh, that's I like that, Hugo. Well, I think that's actually a bit. I think that's too good.
I don't think so.
I'll think about it.
Back to the Hope Harvester. First
Sorry.
thing
Yep.
that has
So
an armor
it's-
save.
Yeah, it's got
Oh
4
yes,
up.
the
It's
first
got
thing
4
that has
up.
a 4-up armor save, just like it used
The
to.
first and only thing that has an armor save.
You could spend
There
some
you go.
points to give something a 5-up armor save.
You can.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Well,
You shouldn't.
we
You
forgot
shouldn't.
the character.
You
There was a
should not.
character with a 4 up. There was a character with
Oh,
a
there
4
was.
up. Don't forget.
You're right.
Yep.
I tell a lie.
So this guy, a bit of utility, but the shooting, nah.
No, I think he's way
Um,
better as an engine of damnation than he's a monster.
Agreed.
Do you agree, Hugo?
I agreed.
But you get warp. You keep warp platform. No, you
No,
lose
you
warp
lose warp
platform.
platform.
Okay, so throw out warp platform.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that. All right.
Alright, so you think the same thing as me. Alright, if you upgrade it to engine of damnation, what manifestation do you buy?
Out of those ones,
Mm-hmm.
There's only
Okay.
one, surely.
it would have to be segmented shell.
Yeah.
The other ones all do kind of nothing. If you buy any at all, I probably wouldn't buy any.
Hmm.
Alright.
I think
chilling middle
segmented. I
one
think
is-
segmented shell's good for what's that? 405 turns it into 435. Like, yeah, you're gonna be protected against
If
a
it
lot of
saves
bulky
you
stuff.
one wound in a game, it's worth 30 points.
So worth 30 points for
Yeah.
that wound.
More than likely, it's going to save you at least one, right? Unless they're ignoring it. Just yeah. If they don't have cannons,
Don't you want the Sorceress Antenna for more Veil tokens? Because demons struggle with that.
Do they?
they get +2.
Do
They get +2, and they usually have multiple wizards.
Do they?
Yeah.
Are you
We-
not taking 3 wizards? What are you doing?
He's just trying to
What are
help
you
out
doing?
Scotty so he can have more.
Do you know Scotty? Do you know Scotty? The first thing he dropped with the Soul of Ledgers, he dropped it. It's like it's gone. It's gone.
So Scotty, who was playing Warriors of the Dark Gods, if in our first episode where we said he'd be drowning in Veil tokens, he built a swimming pool and he still couldn't contain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the feedback was too many Veil tokens, not
Yeah.
enough uses. So
Basically, he played Henry. Henry basically just took his 18 Heath Hunter, the rider guys, just rode up, just shot a bunch of them raw as dead, and literally like he just had cap 6 the whole game through, and he just couldn't spend them ever.
Back to this Hope Harvester. Just one
Mhm.
last thing. If you are actually using this as a shooting battery, wouldn't you want to take that aura of this for that minus charge range?
You
Yeah.
would,
Oh,
you-
yeah,
you would,
would,
but you
yeah.
can't. I don't think you can stand and shoot.
No, you can't stand shoot.
oh, you can't stand and shoot.
But I
It does
mean,
keep it out.
but this thing, when you're shooting this thing at infantry, right? Generally has movement 4, movement 5. You put it in a unit of whatever the
Yep.
Lemures, and then whack the aura of despair on it. Like if you march up to infantry within your shooting range and shoot at them, and then take distance off their charge to charge at you, I thought that would be the combo you'd go with.
It would be for sure, but it's shooting. If you're taking this to shoot, I think yeah.
All right, so
Doing
let
something
me
wrong to begin
dispel
with.
that slight notion. Okay, you've decided to put it in the Lemieux block and march up. Your gun's only got 18 to range, right? So when you march up, are you going to be within 18? If you're within 18, they just march up to you. Like you're banking on people realizing, oh, he has Aura of Despair, and going, oh, what does that do? I'll charge it. Like that's what you're banking on.
Yeah, I
In
see your
terms of
point.
shooting.
Yep.
If someone goes, oh, you've got Aura of Despair, well, I guess I'm not charging. I'm just gonna march up to
I'm
you.
just going to march up into your face. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just march up 9 inches away.
Well, I mean, yeah. Assuming that that's the only. Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Yep.
I think this little Alex, tell me what you think. Instead of the Titan Slayer chariot.
He does
know it. Yes, he does.
All right, we're gonna take the Mountain Breaker. Yes, the Mountain Breaker, and we're gonna give you the option for the Hope Harvest to swap the Aether Battery for the Mountain Breaker. What do you think?
So
Interesting.
you get rid of the shooting, you gain impact hits, maybe a bit of movement.
Yes.
Sure.
Fine. That'd be fine.
Would that be a better option than the Titan Slayer?
This even has the armor save that a chariot should have.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Because I just think you should have it like a close combat variant for the Engine of Damnation.
Yeah, I'm not liking that for attacks. Not liking that at all. I don't have a problem with that. Any other thoughts?
I don't want to lose that Chthonic Machinator though. That needs to be no matter what happens.
Oh my god, we'll just rename the Hope Harvest to Chthonic. Oh my
Done.
god.
I'll have one in every list.
And then no one will know what it is.
Nope. If you can pronounce this name, I'll tell you what it does.
It's like a demon. You say its name. Once you know its name, it's lost its power. Yeah, that would actually make sense.
All right, Harvester, where does it go? Where does it go in the rankings, Alex?
I think it goes near the bottom, but not at the bottom. Unless it's big, then it's in the middle.
A B minus, or a B?
It'd be a B minus.
All right, I think you're being generous. I think it's a C, but continue.
All right, no worries. Okay, so I was just going to throw it to Nick and say, how big of a thorn in your side will it be, since you're the Demon Slayer? But this next unit's probably a thorn in just about everybody's side. Brazen Beast. So, Brazen Beast, the old Crusher Cav, became super offensive all of a sudden. So, if you don't know, large Cav, March, move 7. They have 4 wounds. They've got no armor. They've got resilience 4.
Alex?
They have.
Alex?
Yes,
do you
Alex?
agree? If you don't have 8 in your armor, you're doing something wrong.
I don't know about 8, but these are definitely the top of the big 3.
Right,
So
fine,
what makes
six,
them that?
So where I was saying before about the hoarders, where you can take them if you want to kill things. These are the ones you take to just kill them now.
Impact hits 2, so each model gets impact hits 2. The steeds and the riders have battle focus all the time. The riders on the charge will get 3 strength 5 AP to attacks at agility, 5 on the charge. And that's pretty much it. The beasts have 2 strength 5 attacks with battle focus, so
They essentially, when they charge in, they have 7 strength 5 or 8 strength 5 attacks each with a stomp.
8 strength 5 attacks each with a stomp.
And battle focus. So they just murder everything.
Yeah. Or 7 each. 7 each. 2 that automatically hit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, impact hits.
That impact hits 2 seems pretty generous. Is it?
It is very good.
I think, is there any other model that has impact hits 2? I don't think
Not
there
to
is.
my knowledge.
The
I have 1.
the Bull of Shamut.
There
1.
you go.
That's pathetic compared to this. Nick, have you played against them? I haven't actually played against them.
Good God, have I?
Well,
I have watched. I've just watching a game. I've seen a unit of 4 of these kill 22 Infernal Dwarf warriors on the charge.
wow.
On the charge, just cripple that unit. I have copped them into 44 Dread Elf Spearmen.
Mm-hmm.
I attacked first, and they still won the combat.
Yikes.
It is second PSA of tonight. Shoot the Brazen Beasts off the goddamn table.
Well, one of the only units that's not going to have hard.
Yeah. So when I'm across the table from Alex, I essentially deploy my chaff to interrupt the brazen beasts
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
they are just so brutal if you can't shoot them off.
Nick, have
However-
you ever played Alex without Brazen Beast?
Yes, yesterday wasn't it?
Ugh.
He had
That's-
Eidolons instead.
Yeah. So-
No, I did have Brazen Beast yesterday. They're the only
Oh,
thing
did
that
you?
did anything. Well, not in our game because I rolled 6 ones, but
Oh yeah, that's right. No, they couldn't kill a single chariot. So, that was a bad game.
This is how
Yeah.
good they are. The best demon player in Australia always takes Brazen Beast.
Okay,
pretty much.
so
yes.
We got it?
so
We
so
got it, everybody? We
I
got
amend
it?
that comment. Yep.
Um,
I will say though, however, if you charge them, they fall over like wet.
Yeah, they
Like
lose
they are super squishy.
a lot of their punch when they don't charge.
I'm gonna say no. I played a game against Max Wharton at Melbourne, and
Oh, Yo-Yo Max.
and he put miners up behind the Brazen Beast, and shot at me. And you know what? I said, just charge me. I'll give you the rear. And he took the rear charge and he lost.
And can you remind everyone what position Max came in that tournament?
Well, what? I'll do you one better. I gave him the most points, which was 6 in the whole tournament.
I believe he ended that tournament with 10.
I know when I gave him 6, it was 10.
So against anyone apart from Max the Enigma, if you charge Brazen Beasts, you kill them. Like,
getting the charge is the whole army is lightning quick if you're not a Lemure, so getting that charge is ideal.
herein lies the issue. Yes,
And
when playing demon.
But-
yeah,
As a demon player, you have literally like 3 of the best chaff units in the game. Like, if you're getting chaffed up, something is seriously wrong with you.
wrong with you.
I agree.
That was very personal.
Like,
Oh,
I
goodness.
don't know what army has 3 really good chaff units. I don't know.
What army is really good?
Empire. All units are chaff units.
According to Hugo, anything under 300 points.
Yeah, but they're like movement what? Like, they don't move very
Commander on a Griffin, chaff.
Yep. They are movement irrelevant because there's 12 units of them.
So Brazen Beast manifestations. Tempting to do, some of the more offensive stuff, but what's your opinions on that, Alex?
I think Hugo and I, once again, this is because there's just so much pyromancy. Incendiary Arc is...
Collusion.
I'm glad
Like,
you've
it's
learned.
so cheap.
I'm glad you've learned, Alex.
I originally went with Whipcrack Tail, and that is good, but it is more expensive, and you don't have that protection against the pyromancy.
So that's lightning reflexes.
Yeah.
Is that to the mount as well?
Yes, it goes to the whole model, so
Okay,
it's very good.
Look.
But
if you are buying Whipcrack Tail, or Red Haze, okay, if you're buying either of those 2 upgrades, you are basically telling yourself you are not a good player, alright? And you plan to get chaffed up and get charged. Because if you charge with Brazen Beast, you don't need those 2 upgrades. You don't need them, okay? You don't need them. The Brazen Beasts are good enough themselves. So do yourself a favor and just forget about it and just learn to chaff better.
there
So
you go.
keep it nice and cheap. Get the incendiary icon.
Yes, because you don't want to die to Pyromancy. Because like
Yeah.
Nick says,
Pyromancy
just
just rips them apart. It rips everything apart.
Who is taking all this pyromancy that we're talking about?
At Vic GT, 5 games, I played 4 games against pyromancy.
Okay, so I'm saying that because I haven't played someone with pyromancy in a long time. But in saying that, Biv last year, I think I played it's 5 games, right? I think it was at least 3 with pyromancy. So it'd be interesting to see this Biv if the pyro comes back out because I haven't seen it personally. But
Yeah, but
that's
you've
just
got dwarves now, so you don't care about
Yeah,
Pyro.
pyromancy.
no, it's not that I don't care. It's just I haven't seen it.
Tell you what, there are a few things more satisfying in the Ninth Age than getting to a pyromancer in combat.
Choking him to death.
I remember the first game I got my assassin into Alex's pyromancer. Oh, it just made my month. I butchered that little prick and gleefully rolled those dice.
And just background again. If you don't know, Nick kicks ass with Dread Elves usually, but Brett's as well. So,
I'm coming for you, James Root.
yeah, there's the challenge. So Brazen Beast, Incendiary Ica. Any comments about any other manifestations? So we said Whitcrap Tail. Don't worry, maybe because of the offensive power. Centipede legs.
I mean, +1 advance is okay, but
Again, if you don't need
Oh,
centipede
great.
legs, like if
Don't need it.
if
Okay.
you chaff better, you'll be fine.
Yep. So 2 units of 4 is standard, right?
Default.
Do these guys come down to 0 to 2 per army?
I'm not sure that you really have the points to get 3 units of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
With all the other stuff you need.
If you're taking 3 units, you're probably taking 3, and I hesitate at 3 because if you lose 1, 2's not enough. It's kind of like with
Yeah,
most.
but 2 units, not 3 units. You go.
Yeah, like I'd rather you take 2 like large units of 4, and like it's just like every other large cavalry in the game. Like once you lose your rank, you're kind of not good enough.
Yeah, I feel like they don't need character support as well. And with the changes to some of the dominions, these got a little bit better. Like what springs to mind is the more giving them reroll 1s to wound on their impacts, on their stomps.
Yikes.
Shush you.
Sorry.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Alright, so now, do we build a
April.
new shelf for this? Does this belong on its
Well,
own
no,
shelf?
they-
The display cabinet.
Oh,
They
for
live
the
in your
Brazen Beast.
case. They live in your own
Yeah,
case.
they don't have a shelf because they're already on the thing.
They don't leave the box.
Oh gosh.
Every army list you write should have them on there, like preset. Okay.
Alright.
Finally,
Yeah. Are they the best unit in the book?
I think they are.
I think
No,
they are too.
Furies are.
Oh,
Ooh.
besides, perhaps
For their job, do Furies chaff better than these guys charge?
yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And speaking of, Furies are next.
Oh, there you go.
Avest.
In the coveted Aves section.
Arves.
Arves.
Ave, sorry.
And most importantly, they are number 1 in the section because they're first up.
So
They are
I'm
rightfully
gonna
placed.
get through these Furies very quick. You take 2 units, you take Kaleidoscopic Flesh, done. Moving on. That's it.
So-
That's what you do.
They fly 20. Very rare to see that. Hard target 1 base because of Skirmisher, and you give them hard target 2 because they are Resilience 3 with only a 6-up save. I mean, I've played these guys once and they charged me. They're good on the charge too. They're good on the charge
Yeah,
too, these guys.
Sneaky Strength 5 attack.
Yeah,
on the
they've got a
charge.
sneaky Strength 5 attack. Yeah, no, they're, like you said, anything else? They're amazing.
All demon armies are 340 points less because you take 2 units of that's it.
I agree.
Agreed. Again,
All right.
so Brazen Beasts and Furies, they are your 2 go-to units. They should be next to each other at all times.
Yes.
They work in tandem. All right.
And
Alex, do you want to introduce the next unit?
Case, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, done.
They 100% live in the caves.
Just need to get the ranking thing done. All right.
Yeah. Alex, introduce the next unit.
All right. It says Veil Serpents in the book. We all know that they're called the Sky Cobras. And
So Sky Cobras.
I know Max will be happy in that I used them in a game yesterday. 2 games actually.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys, they fly 9, but they only march 12. So they're a bit strange.
And they're from the wrong side of the track.
Yeah, they're
This is
Sky Cobra
Skycrover territory.
And they don't have to pay for their manifestation. They get to pick one at the start of each game.
Oh, interesting.
Which you can pick the -1 attack for the enemies, which is Tarskin. You can take Plumage for the +1 offense defense, or Chilling Yawn for the -3 agility. So, take out Mesmerizing Plumage. The other 2 are really good. Plumage is still good, but the other 2 are just way better.
Remind me what Tarskin does. I don't remember.
It's -1 attack. If you touch a unit, all models in that unit have -1 attack.
Ooh.
Just
Okay.
don't use it with a deceiver.
With a what? Say it again.
Just don't use it with a deceiver.
Okay.
These are amazing support charge units.
Yes. They can also be Wizard Conclave, and they do have some good spells. Once again, they're not spells you don't already have access to, but they're okay. I use them as a unit of 6 as the Conclave gets there, which they're pretty cheap. I think they're 5.59. And they are, the 3 strength 4 AP. They're pretty standard. But the upgrade, the manifestation can really punch you home for what you need.
All right. Hugo, opinions? You always have them.
Not really for this unit.
No, not really. You don't plan on using them.
I've got models for them, but no.
No. Okay.
I will say once again that a unit of 3 of them in a line, a dart formation, also good.
Yeah,
probably
I
three
think.
three in a dart.
with tasking.
Yeah, well,
with-
that's the glory of it. You get to pick at the start of each
Probably
playing against L, take Chilling Yawn.
Chilling Yawn and then
Ooh.
just try to kill a wizard. That's probably what my thing would be.
It's below your
Wizard.
threshold as well, Hugo. It's
What?
throwaway.
It is throwaway.
It's below your threshold.
It is. It is.
Is that do you think that Morphling's rule is built in? Are they too expensive or they're right on?
No, I don't think they're too expensive. I think they're pretty well costed.
Okay. Shelf rating?
Definitely in the middle.
Alright, so C.
No, B minus.
Okay. Good. Alrighty. And now
Oh, the controversy.
oh yeah.
Oh.
The flies.
The flies.
Flies. So yeah, let's look at the flies. So I'm just gonna run through now. If you're not aware, these guys did get a pretty significant
There's literally a
redesign
whole
slash-
new unit.
yeah, a pretty significant redesign slash buff in 2.0 to 2.1. Main thing being is they went to 3 models, so that's familiar to the old book. They got Fly 7, they got Fortitude 5 plus, they got 4 wounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, resilience is the same. Resilience didn't change. But their attacks got a lot better. 3 offense 3. That's offense 3, but it's strength 4, AP 3, agility 3 attacks. With acid blood. Acid blood's a special attack, so if you wound them, you get hit back with not 1 anymore, you get hit with 2 toxic attacks. That's for each health point, not model. So getting hit, and these guys, they're not that tough. They've got a fair bit of wounds, but that's 24 toxic attacks if you take the whole unit out.
Nick,
Um,
do you know every
Nice.
wound you
Yeah.
take them, an elf dies?
I know.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That is 48 toxic attacks if you kill them.
Maybe if you're rolling hot, 2 elves die.
Or the
So,
whole...
okay. I have just a quick clarification there. It says the model that caused the wounding hit. Does that mean
Ooh.
do those double hits spill over onto additional models in the unit?
Do the extra... So say it again.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
So it says against melee attacks, the model that caused the wounding hit suffers 2 hits with toxic attacks. So can
So it wouldn't...
each wound caused only kill
Hmm.
1 elf infantry.
No. 'cause
I don't think so because
I
of health
don't think so
rules.
because that's how a unit fights another unit. If you think
Oh,
about
I thought you were talking about characters. Okay. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
you can't.
I think that word should be unit.
Yeah,
like
that-
the
that
unit
should-
that
should-
caused the wounding hit.
Yeah.
No, not that particular.
elf
because
pool, I think.
you'd want to split the character ones. Because I think this is like it's a buff in a way that if the character's wounds, you can circumvent striking the unit and just strike the characters directly.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. That's something I just saw then when reading that rule, but whatever.
But you're right. If if those attacks are going on the character, those wounds can't spill over. So if you're let's
Yeah.
say you've got
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Chunky
Okay.
Lord
Cool.
and he does about 10 wounds to the thing, and he takes 20 toxic hits back. No, those definitely do not spill over. Like you should pick someone off definitely straight away because
Yep.
they're cheating. They're fucking cheating.
Hugo, I've just had a fun thought about my Seeker Lord fighting these blokes. Being T5, just hoping that they don't roll 6s while he does 14 odd wounds to you. It'd be fun, but then I'd be praying there's no 6s
Mate,
coming up.
Mate, blades of Nar. Like 40 attacks into these.
Oh, we spoke about blades, about succubi and blades. We're going to do a whole episode on blades.
So
now.
Count me in.
So I think one of the PSAs I would give, maybe Nick, you can agree or disagree with this, but before you ever fight a unit of bloatflies, look at the unit that you have, right, and look at how much it costs. If your unit costs more than that unit of bloatflies, just don't do it. Just don't do it, because probably they'll both die.
So Nick hasn't actually played against these yet.
Grave calls and bolt throwers are your friend. I have. The first time before they got changed,
Oh, yeah.
I threw the Might Duke in
You almost died.
and took 3 wounds. Yeah.
Oh, so he's
Oh, he's over.
dead now. He's
Oh,
dead
he's so
if he
dead.
faces them again.
That Mike Duke is dead.
So-
So dead.
On the forums that we all rarely read, but did read,
No, we do
There was a
research
whole
for
thread.
this podcast. Sorry.
about these guys being now the new best unit in the game, and that's not true. I'll dispel that rumor right now. If you are fighting them, the example used on the forums were Line Guard fighting.
Lion guard.
Literally the worst unit in the game to fight them.
I don't believe so, but sure, continue.
I mean, they're the ones that do double wounds to them.
Well, it just means they die faster. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
But
I said,
anyway.
every wound you do to them, an elf dies.
Yeah, every wound they do, like 7 elves die. But these guys are not as good as people think they are. They are still good, but they're
Yeah.
not as good as people think they are.
So just before we go too far into it, you've also got Broodmother, which you can take. 12 points a model is not a free. It's an additional manifestation. Do you
Yeah.
take Broodmother?
No,
No, don't take Broodmother.
it makes the unit far too expensive.
Far too expensive. What about Unhinging Jaw, Digestive Vomit, Unnatural Roots, or Kaleidoscopic Flesh?
Digestive vomit's where it's at. That's the
Digestive Vomit. Yeah. So Digestive Vomit, when you perform a reform, you get +1/+1.
Yep.
All right.
So
It's a sh-
they'll be Strength 5, AP 4 after that.
Anything else, Nick?
I was just going to say it's a shame Broodmother's so expensive because that has awesome synergy with their Acid Blade.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
It does. However, the actual models, their attack, Broodmother only works for the models' attacks, not their toxic hits or anything. So they sometimes, like they're only offense 3 with 3 attacks each. They can whiff. And then Broodmother's not doing anything for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Hugo, any other comments on that one?
Not really. I think they're a 50-50
Alright.
unit. You use them.
These were what we were saying. They're taking points out of this category against everything.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks, but like these are a good unit. They weren't part of my big 3 because they're new, but I think they're going to slot in just behind the Brazen Beasts. I think they're better than the other two.
I'm pretty sure there is a list you could build. Like if you want to max out on the Avers, right? So you start with your 3 into Furies because whatever, like you plan.
I believe I'm going to cut you off right now and say that 2 into 6 Bloatflies with Digestive Vomit and 2 into Furies are 5 points under them, I think.
Oh well, then yeah. If that's the combination you're going for, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
So say it again. 2 units of 6.
I think 2 units of 6 Bloatflies with
Wow.
I think with a Champion and Digestive Vomit and 2
Yep.
units of Furies with Kaleidoscopic Flesh.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure is right on the money.
Is right on the money.
Okay. It's interesting. Their base size is 50 by 75, so they're the large cav.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're definitely something you're mucking around with, Alex?
Yes.
Hugo, you're not mucking around with them yet?
No, because I just don't like the models.
Don't like the models. Okay, doesn't like flies.
But they are look if you have a pyromancer, they are like the unit,
Oh my god, here we go. Pyromancers again.
they are the unit that you can delete
Oh,
with like
sure are.
with like no difficulty.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to start playing pyromancy, or an
you
army
have to-
that
you
has
just have to
pyromancy.
Look at those bloatflies return and they're gone. They're pretty much gone.
Alex has awesome models for those. He has these like really cheap mosquitoes, and they look amazing.
They are Malifaux Iron Skeeter models.
Ooh, okay. That does
Mm.
sound familiar. That does sound familiar. Fantastic. So looking at that, so they're off the shelf now. They're being used. Were they not being used before?
They were not being used before at all. They
Yeah.
were real bad. I
Real
just looked
bad.
and I lied. It's a unit of 6 and a unit of 5 flies.
Okay,
So lose
6
one.
and 5. Either way,
Alright.
that's a lot of toxic retaliation.
And that's the other thing that people need to understand about this unit. For them to output their damage, they have to die.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They do.
That is the last unit in the book.
That is the
Yeah.
last
So
thing in the
Hugo,
book.
Hugo, do you want to take us through what we're going to do now?
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kindly look at some.
If you
lists.
remember what we're going to be doing now.
We're gonna do some lists because we've basically gone through the book. So let's see what it looks like all together. And Alex has kindly given us 2 lists to look at. So one's good, one's bad. Maybe you guys can figure it out.
Oh, if you can't figure it out, get yourself to the hospital.
This is like that test people do at the end of a tute or end of the lecture. This is the
This is the quiz you get on the way out.
quiz. Yeah, the quiz you get on the way out. And let's see, have you been listening to this podcast at all? All right, so let's move on to the first list. Oh,
So list number 1. So I'll run through this one. Alex, you run through the second one, and then Hugo, you run through the third one. All right.
sure.
So number 1, more of Arcan. Master Evo, Withering Vapor, Digestive Vomit, Cloven Hooves, and Living Shield. So he's got some impact hits. He's got the +1 strength and the +1 AP. He's more than likely going to get that. He's got the Breath Weapon, which is nice, and Parry. He just comes under 1,000. Harbinger is an adept on Thorma. He's also got that AP3 Breath Weapon. He's got Guiding Dexterous Tentacles, which is going to help him in a unit of 26 Myrmidons with Whipcrack Tail. So Lightning Reflexes and Agility 5, they're elf wannabes. He's also got Third Eye there. If you want to blast them with your much maligned Pyromancy, you can fire it straight back. He's got 10 Imps with Eternal Champion, 12 Succubi with nothing. Then he's got Legion Thresher Engine that we spoke about before with Divining Snout. A Blazing Glory with Hooves, 2 units of 5 Sirens, 2 units of 5 Furies, Kaleidoscopic Flesh, and 6 Bloatflies with Digestive Vomit and a Champion. So, Alex, was this the good one or the bad one? Or do you want to wait? Wait.
Was the good one.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to know.
You should give the audience like 10 seconds to like make a decision.
So- Magic, quite magic heavy. You got 7 spells?
I don't think that's magic heavy for Demon. That's about my usual.
Okay.
There are definitely improvements to be made with this.
Yeah, first of all, you could name a general because it's illegal at the moment.
Hey, I didn't type this up.
Oh.
Chris.
You dictated it to me and I wrote it down, alright? So if it's anyone's fault, it's your fault.
I can take the blame. It's fine.
At
So
least we wrote the laws of magic.
you talked about the Withering Vapor. I think Withering Vapor is a great upgrade for your characters.
About 45
think
points or
that's right.
35?
45.
45.
45 points for a Strength 3 AP2 Breath Weapon. Great. And this, I'm not sure really what to say. What I'd upgrade in this list, I'd get rid of those imps and put Succubi in their place.
Mm-hmm.
The Chariot, I'm not super sold on, and I'd get rid of the Blazing Glory. And that'd free up, essentially, that I'd probably replace those 2 with a unit of Brazen Beasts and be done.
I was about to say, where the Blazing Beasts? Okay. Alright. So that seems like an auto.
That'd be the upgrades. You could
Quick
also
decision.
change the Sirens around for Hellhound, Mage Blight Gremlins if you wanted to.
So
Wow.
what you're saying is you'd essentially turn this list into the next one.
No.
No. Okay.
No. God, no.
So any more comments on this one, or do we want to look at the next one?
Well, I can tell you a little bit about real quick the Myrmidons because they're new.
Yep.
In the one game I played with this list, I played against Undying Dynasties, and those Myrmidons they fought against a Colossus, a unit of Shabti archers, chariots, and skeletons all in one game.
Hmm.
And so they fought essentially everything, and they did very well. I wouldn't say they did better than Succubi, but at least equal.
Yeah.
Maybe a little better because of the Colossus in there.
So they're definitely a
Yeah.
solid choice.
A fine unit. And for
Okay.
anyone wondering, I did not run them 8 wide. I hate 8 wide units of big bases.
So, most importantly, what was the result?
I think I would have 20 0'd that game. It was against a relatively new player though, so
Trying to gank him.
But like, okay, take away the fact that it was a new player. Think of it as in like had like just the list itself. Did you feel like, regardless of player, was it a good matchup?
yeah, I think it was.
Yes,
Like I said, the Blazing Glory literally didn't do anything the whole and the engine only charged once at the end of the game. So the imps didn't do anything at all because they're terrible imps. But
imps.
it was I think that list is fine.
I feel
Few
like
tweaks.
I feel like by your comments, some of our listeners may have like guessed the wrong list.
Maybe
Maybe.
they did. They haven't seen the other one yet.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
Alright, so this
Okay.
one, it's essentially the same Maw, but instead of being a wizard master, he's a wizard adept. There is a Harbinger with Withering Vapor and Guiding Digestive Vomit, who's in a unit 26 Myrmidons with Ripcrack Tail again. So that is a real solid unit, that one. There are 2x12 Succubi, so if you were listening before and listening now, you'd think, oh, this list is going to be better. There's a Regulation Threshing Engine, 4 Brazen Beasts with Incendiary Archive, 5 Hell. Once again, you'd be thinking, oof, how is this the bad list? And then you get to the 10 Eidolons and the 6 Veil Serpents, and that is 1,100 points of garbage. There's Furies again. There's always Furies.
So not even the Sky Cobras could save this.
No.
So basically,
They could
what he could have done is he could have taken a second unit of Brazen Beast and probably a unit of 6.
You could pretty much straight up swap those to a unit of Brazen Beasts and Bloatflies and get some Hounds,
670.
and you have a rock solid list.
Yes, but you decide to have fun.
I decided to try units I haven't used before, and I find out why I haven't used them before.
In the name of science.
Yes.
How did the Myrmidon Harbinger unit go in that game, Alec?
Well, so in my game against you, Nick, they charged into a unit of Dancers of Yama and then died. They killed half the unit, but they died.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of that. Probably the worst thing they could charge, but gave it a go. And then in the next game, they charged a Colossus and did 9 wounds to it. So
Oof.
they are hitting on 2s, and they were strength 6, AP 2. Just murdered it.
Wow. All right. So can you talk about the Maw a little bit? That's a bit of an interesting
sure,
one.
Yeah, so his Dominion, throw out, and he gets it himself, reroll 1s to wound with melee attacks. So that's all your special attacks, your breath weapons, stomps, impact hits. It is great. It is super good.
Sure is.
Now, he actually did die in the first game, the first list. That one died. I left a Colossus on 1 wound, and he attacked back and did 6 wounds to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I died.
Ouch.
What were the odds of the 6 wounds?
Very low, but that's just how it went. He's just... generally, even though I just said he died, he's generally just safe point. He's fast enough to get out of trouble. He's a wizard. He can throw in a bunch of damage to infantry units with his attacks and stomps. Impact hits, breath weapons. He can kill a lot of guys. Just a great unit.
He's the Inspector Gadget of demons.
Yeah, he's got it all.
I really like his Adept Evo plus his Dominion. So you go reroll to hit, reroll to wound, and then reroll 1s to wound. It's a nice like support setup.
So guiding digestive vomit on the Myrmidons, strength 6, AP 2. You said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you find that to be a lot better than the other setup? Just having the +1 AG, or it doesn't matter too much?
I think it is better.
Okay.
I think.
I imagine it's a bit more expensive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's about double the price for that manifestation.
But I think you significantly lowered your character hit in this
Yeah, because
list.
he didn't have to be a wizard in the second one, because I had the 2 wizard conclaves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The 12 succubi with mesmerize and plumage, I think they are a superb unit.
Little support unit.
258 points, offense, defense 5, gives you +1 offense, defense for other units.
I agree.
Just great.
I'll probably look into getting 2 units of those as well. Slightly foreshadowing.
You and your foreshadowing, and you've kind of knocked on the door that we spoke about. We mentioned last episode was the 1 big unit and 2 small units in core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could, if you wanted to, I'm not sure why you would, but if you really liked imps or whatever, you could just essentially trade those out for imps straight away.
Yeah.
Almost the same points cost.
All right.
Don't take him.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, but you could.
They were like the choice that everyone was looking at, because you're thinking core, shoot, magic support, but then now it's kind of turned on its head a little bit. All right. So you've played this one how many games?
I played 2 games with the second one.
Okay, 2 games with the second one.
I actually won the second game. Once again, same Undying Dynasties play. I won that game very handily.
Mm-hmm.
But that was 100% the Brazen Beast. The other 2 units did nothing.
Okay.
So the Eidolons and the Skycobras just sat around.
Yeah. Not good. I even got the dream of charging some large infantry with Tarskin on the Veil Serpents, and they still lost.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Not good. Not good. All right. So anything else to say about this one? Is this one going to see more tweaks?
No.
Okay.
Essentially,
This one's going in the bin.
you can combine these 2 lists to get one really good list.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, isn't
Which you already spoke about,
Isn't
yeah.
the good list that we already said is you swap the Veil Serpents out and the Eidolons out for Brazen Beast and Bloodflies?
More or less, yes. You'd
And
need
then-
to change
and
the
then
magic around a bit.
What are we changing the Threshing Chariot to? Maybe to more Hellhounds?
Yeah, maybe. I think the Threshing Engine and the Hellhounds they perform different roles, but they're almost the same amount of points.
Yep.
So you kind of pick which you need, which you think you need with those ones.
Okay. So, I guess it comes down to the last list.
List number 3. Here you go.
Alex, judge away.
I don't know what this list is. You did not send me a picture of it.
Oh,
You only
wow.
sent me a picture of the list I wrote and know off by heart.
Oh no! All right, so I'm going to read out the list to you. So it is a Maw. It is an Adept of Evo. It has the Greater Dominion, of course, because it's my general. It's got Digestive Vomit. It's got Dark Hide. It's got the Third Eye, and it's got Dexterous Tentacles. After that, I've got a Deceiver, who's going to be a Wizard Master. He's got Guiding, Piercing Strike, Dexterous Tentacles again, as well as a Third Eye. Then there's a Harbinger, which is an Adept of some lore that I have not chosen yet. He has Guiding, Digestive Vomit, Dexterous Tentacles, and Third Eye. Then there is, of course, a big unit of lemurs with Chilling Yawn, because that's just what I do. And then 2 small units of lemurs with Unnatural Roots. Obviously, the 2 units of 4 Brazen Beasts with Incendiary Ichor. And a Hope Harvester with the Engine of Destruction, Segmented Shell, as well as the obligatory 2 units of Furies with Kaleidoscopic Flesh.
Alright.
Do you see what I have done?
I can see what you're doing, and I'll say straight up, I don't agree with you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You are trying to make the lemurs really hard.
He's trying to make him hit really hard. Now, my question was the same when he showed this to me about how many attacks do the lemurs actually have to make use of.
Yeah, you trade
Buffs.
out those lemurs to succubi, you're onto something.
Yeah, but I think the succubi just aren't going to be around.
Yeah, his theory is they stick around for much longer, so therefore the attacks.
This
work.
is the brazen beast of the hoarder's argument.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump in and say, if you've got those 2 units of 4 brazen beasts, the succubi will be your.
I'm gonna say that he should give this a go though, because more lemurs, hope harvester,
Like okay,
units that you're not going to take off easily.
So the 2 into lemurs, I agree with Alex. I am going to swap them out for sirens because that's just a
Succubi.
Succubi, sorry, 'cause
Succubi.
that's just a better choice. But other than that, I'm just gonna give it a try because I think
always
strength
give it a
5,
go.
strength 5 and toughness 5 lemurs. I'm just gonna try it.
Give it a crack.
I mean, no
Give
one's casting spells at you either.
Oh, cast spells at me. Cast your worst spell at me.
So you
Cast
have
cast the snipe spell at me,
3 third
please.
eyes. 3 third eyes.
Why? Yeah. Why do you have 2 of them in that one unit?
Because you can cast it back twice.
Okay, fair enough.
So if you cast a spell, I don't know. Let's go with a pirate. Let's not go with a pyromancer.
Oh, I'm not
That's a dumb
Pyrus.
spell.
There are other spells out there.
Let's go with the most generic.
Are there? I
one.
wouldn't know.
Let's go with like what is it? The Div one, the 2d6
Unerring strike.
unerring strike.
Unerring strike.
Let's go with that. You cast on the lemurs. Sure, I'll let you have it, and I'll cast it twice back at you.
Very generous of you.
I know.
You let us have it.
I'll let you have it, and then I can bounce spell it twice back at you.
Yeah.
And my other spells, and that's only 4 of my dice.
With
that
third
can go
eye,
away.
do you want to get 1 power level of bounce?
No, you get both.
I get the exact spell you cast. Oh well, yeah, I get 2 power.
5/8.
5/8. Okay, cool.
So if you cast a boosted spell at me, I will get that exact spell back at you.
Yep.
For 2 dice.
Yikes.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's right.
Because it's the spell that you cast at me, I get to bounce it back at you. So if you cast the boosted version of me, I'll get it cast. I'll get the.
I'm
exact
sure this is
spell
going to
back.
see some clarifications in the future.
But the trick is, if you do a snipe spell, only one of them will be able to swing it back at you because you've only targeted the one.
I'm almost certain that you will get the lower version. It says when a learned spell that targets the model or its unit is successfully cast.
Yep, learn spell. Yep.
Yeah, learn
Oh,
spell's
the-
fine.
The learned spell is unerring strike. Whether you cast on the higher one or not doesn't matter. It's just
Oh.
unerring strike.
Yeah, I
Bounce
think
spells can't
this-
be upgraded.
Oh.
Yeah. Bounce spells
Ooh,
can't
that's
be upgraded.
that's true. That's
It says
true.
you may cast that spell as a bound spell, and I'm pretty sure bound spells can't be upgraded.
Yeah. Someone can jump into bounce spells and look at the exact wording to clarify that. But that sounds pretty correct.
Yeah. I
Still
understand
having
that.
the
I
double.
understand the logic. I understand that logic. Yep. I
Yeah.
can see how that would pan
Still having the double cast is nice.
Yeah,
because
yeah. I didn't think of the doubling
you
up.
might get it off. Might actually get it off. So that's pretty nice. Anything else you go to do with this list? Is it going to see some trials?
I hope so. I want to see how the lemurs go. I think they will be a what is that? 1,500 point
Yeah.
terribly slow unit. That's not going to do anything.
Bound spells cannot be used to cast boosted versions of the spell they contain.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
but
standard.
okay, so when I read that, right, I would go, okay, so what bound spells are there out there, right? And it's probably like, okay, so let's say like you used to have like the ruby, like the fire ring thing that casts fireball. Well, of course you can get the boosted version of it. But the third eye interaction was it's the spell that was cast against the unit gets to be cast back. That was my like
Yeah.
thing of reading it. But yeah, no, I can understand why it's
Yeah.
it would be the unboosted because it's still just the learn spell. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yep, that
Yeah.
computes with
Well,
me.
it is as of the recording.
Awesome.
It could see some clarification, probably towards what we've already said. But
Maybe
yes.
that's a question I should put up. I'll put that up soon.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, Hugo, we've got 3 lists. You're going to try yours out. You're going to muck around with yours.
I'm not
Alex, I know you're going
necessarily.
to continue. Alex is, of course, going to continue because he is the best.
I am.
I just need to
Best.
add. I started cracking up because I heard guiding digestive vomit twice, and that is the stupidest name for a special rule ever. Guiding digestive vomit should not be said in public ever. It's a bloody good rule though. But in saying that, demons, just in general, do we want to have a quick? We're at, we've gone almost 2 hours, but demons, how are we feeling about them at the moment? Just feeling, is it really optimistic? Are you having fun finding models that fit all this crazy stuff?
I like that I have one army that I can play in like 6 completely different ways.
Agreed.
With my empire, I can play them a few different ways, but not really. But with my demons, I can do so many different things, and that's what I like about it.
I think an excellent job was done writing that book.
Yes.
Yep,
We haven't talked about the fluff at all, which I admittedly have not read much of, but I do like the way it is written, and it is written very well, and the pictures are nice. I did look at the pictures.
Nobody cares about the fluff.
Hugo, don't say that. I think you've definitely admirable, very, very admirable job
For
done.
a free book, it is better than most wargaming books that you have to pay money for.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, and it's only going to get better with updates, I think.
Where do we see it fitting, power level wise?
I think it's pretty fair. Like,
Yeah, I don't think it's too good in any way.
like I think part of the units, like, it demands certain amount of input from the player. Like, it's not just like units that you can put on the board and just
Skill level.
Yeah, there's a certain like finesse for demons.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting
Well, there is now that you can't put 3 omens in the one.
it.
I'm sorry, but nobody did that. Only
Oh
me.
no!
I was the only one that did it. So.
Yeah,
I just-
you're
I
a
just
real
want to,
visionary.
I just want to take a brief moment here to clarify something that Alex said last week as well.
Mm-hmm.
While he was talking about his courtesan of gibberish, I believe.
Gibberish.
And he said that it hasn't died in a single game.
Oh,
I would just like to point out that I killed that thing 3 times.
3 times in one game.
Once was with a breath weapon from a paladin in a duel.
Oof.
in a
That's a
duel
rough
where
way to
I
go.
did not hurt that paladin at all.
Oh boy.
Nick, this is the reason why we brought you onto this podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The fact
to dispel the lies and the rumors.
speak to the best demon player like
Oh, mate.
Well, I mean, what? Like, what? We bring on somebody that's like gets trounced by demons all the time. Like, that would make for a fun podcast.
Oh goodness. Okay, so fair. Definitely a lot of great choices. Be very interesting to see if they make an appearance in the Battle in the Vines tournament coming up, team tournament. So interesting to see if they have a place in teams. What do you think
whilst
about
I might be the captain of a team for that, are you also a captain, Hugo? Are you the captain of your team?
No.
Hugo's making Hugo the captain is, like giving him the captaincy to a sinking ship. He's gonna rock up late and the ship's already sunk.
Oh, he just might not show up at all, like last year.
Yeah. Hugo is our organizer, which is a bad sign.
I don't know. I don't go into the whole real nitty gritty of the matchups for team tournaments, but I know some people
Yeah,
do.
no shit.
And I think
And you still did well last year.
Are the best army for a team tournament because you can make lists that target specific things, and that's what you want.
So big skew lists.
Yes.
So big.
Okay.
If you get the wrong matchup though, like you're done. But you get the right one, that's easy 20.
Hugo, what do you reckon?
I'm gonna hold my cards close to my chest.
Do you think they're good for teams? Do you agree with what Alex just said?
Oh, definitely. Like you could build like an anti-armor list. You could build like an anti-unit list. You could even build a blocking list. Like like literally, the Demons book has made basically very specialized units. They're all going in different directions. You just have to pick the combination for what you want them to do.
As long as you have Furies and Brazen Beasts.
Correct.
Unless you don't plan on winning the game, like you plan on drawing the game. Then maybe
then you
okay,
take
if
Lemure blocks.
yeah. So you take you if you want to draw a game, you take Lemure blocks, and then you take I don't know max bloat flies, then maybe max hoarders, and you're just let's trade, let's just trade.
You sit in the
Yuck.
corner and say, "Geez, I didn't want anyone to have fun playing me."
Or you know what?
Jeez.
Or you can be that one person, that thinks they're very manly by just walking up and be like, "Look, here's my units. See if you can take him." And thinks he's so manly, but he's not at all. 'Cause that's just lame.
You can only do
Oh,
that when you
boy.
have Yetis.
Yetis. Okay, so we've established we're going to see them in the future. It'll be very interesting to see. Biv coming up pretty soon. Wyong, Warren Wyong coming up on April
14th.
14th. Alex is running it. Alex has got goodie bags. If you didn't hear last time, Alex, last shout out for Warren Wyong 9.
Lists are due Sunday, and as of right now, there are only 2 spots left.
Ooh, 2 spots
So-
left. Wow, that's great.
There may be 3. Jack might not be able to make it, but
hmm
2 or 3 spots.
All right,
So,
awesome.
if you want to
I
come,
think all of us are going at this point.
Yep.
yeah, it's going to be a great day.
Just a quick shout out. I'm happy to come and break your leg, Jack, so you don't have to go to work. Give me a call.
There you go.
I mean, does that mean Bailey gets to come along as well?
Has not been mentioned, but
No, he has. I believe he needs parental rights, or parental permission.
Parental permission.
Yes.
are the young people.
Okay, and as of always, information's on the link. You just gotta click into it. I think you can click into it. If not, just jump on Wargamer EU and look for. Is it Warhammer 9th events? It is, right? The tab. I think.
Shout out to Rebel Outpost. It's on their Facebook page as well.
Oh yeah, Rebel Outposts.
Yeah,
Great place.
Sean is a damn legend.
Yep.
Sean is fantastic.
I'm
Sean
also
hosts
going to give a shout out to Biv because there are currently 7 teams, I think, and you want an even number. So
Yep.
if you haven't signed up yet, there are people floating around that can make a team if you don't have 5 people. So get on it.
Biv 5-man tournament event. We'll be chatting a lot about that, but it is coming up super quick. But it's great fun. We spoke about it last time, I think, a little bit, did we?
Yeah,
or on
that was-
episode 1 at least.
That's an awesome event, that one. Lots of fun.
Okay. Hugo, anything else to add?
No. So I think our next podcast will be next week, and we'll be going through the matchups for the War in Wyong 9.
Ooh, matchup video.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Nick, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was a genuine honor.
Genuine. Thank you very much. Alex, thank you so much for being with us again.
No problem. I just want to one last shout out to Max, who has already submitted his list.
Oh, confidence. Confidence is key.
That's what you're after.
And thank you to Alex for showing me so I can tailor.
Yep, there you go.
Grudge. But we're maxed at grudges, aren't we? We've said max a lot. We need to stop saying max.
Need to get him on it.
We need to get him on here.
Just to even the playing field slightly, Nick's taking Dread Elves for sure.
Ooh.
That is true.
He's feeling less of a man because he doesn't have a stupid icon.
He had his Equidane one for a week.
Yeah.
Oh no! Where did the icon go?
JB Payne.
Yeah, back to its rightful owner, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. So I mean, Hugo, do you want to say goodbyes?
Bye-bye.
Can't wait.
Bye-bye.
Next week.
Bye bye.
Next week we'll be back. We'll be talking War and Wyong matchups. That'll be fun. Not just lists. We'll do matchups. Yeah, and we hope we can get Alex, obviously Tio, and maybe Nick on as well for that.
I'll be here.
All right, that'll be a quarter of the players there, so that should that should be a fair amount of insight. All right, so for all of us, thank you very much, guys, listening.
Thank you for listening.
And we will see you again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.